Hey everybody, Shannon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Antstream Arcade going for the Smackdown achievement. This is to win 50 multiplayer challenges. Now, this can very easily be boosted on the same console as long as you have two profiles signed in. Make sure you start out with the profile that's going to be helping out. So make sure you are on their respective dashboard. And then what you want to do is make sure you boot up the game. You are going to need gems on both sides for this. Thankfully, the game is going to hook you up with 1,000 gems for starting out. But nonetheless, once you are in the game with your gems, you're going to want to pick a game that you can send a multiplayer challenge with. Now, you can do this with any game that have challenges available on them. Personally, I'm going to recommend that you do this achievement with the Super Nintendo version of Pinball Dreams Ignition, as this game is going to be very easy to influence the outcome of a multiplayer challenge with. So make sure you select that. You're going to want to move over to the second tab, which is going to be Challenges. Make sure you go down to the one and only challenge, and then what you want to do is want to make sure you select it and then pick Duel. This will allow you to challenge anyone to a challenge. You're going to need to search up the profile that is getting the achievement, so make sure you look up your own gamer tag and then find it. Once you find it, make sure you select yourself and then challenge yourself to a duel. Now, we're going to try to lose the duel on purpose on the profile that's helping out. So what you want to do is want to make sure you hit play to load in. As soon as you are in the game after the countdown, what you want to do is make sure you hit the back button, and then what you want to do is make sure you quit out. This will ensure that you put up 0 points on the profile that's going to be helping out, which is going to make winning the challenge a lot easier on the profile that's actually going for the achievement. So now that the challenge is out there, we're going to need to do a profile swap. So make sure you exit out of the game on the profile that's helping out, and then we're going to switch over to the primary profile who is going for the achievement. So make sure you swap out, and then make sure you boot up the game again. To accept the challenge, you are going to want to go over to the Messages tab up top, and then you should have a list of challenges. Make sure you find the one that was sent on the other account. Make sure you accept it, which is going to cost you some gems. But once you get in, you're going to want to basically try to outscore the other person. Obviously, that should be super easy since they put up 0 points, and the reason we chose pinball is because we can just inbound the ball and then just let it rattle around the board for a bit. It's going to drop on purpose as long as we don't do anything, and that should end the challenge super quickly, allowing us to take home the win. After we win our first challenge, we should be good for the first achievement of the set. That's going to be Ready to Rumble for 50 gamer score for winning one multiplayer challenge, and we could actually do this for all 50. So now that we have the first one out of the way, we're going to show the most efficient way to get all 50 in. Make sure you stay on the main profile who is going for the achievement, and then what you want to do is make sure you go back to that same game's challenge screen. Make sure you pick the same challenge and then pick duel. Then we're going to just do the inverse of what we just did. So this time around, make sure you find the other profile. Make sure you challenge them to the same duel, but this time on the primary profile, you're going to want to score some points. So make sure you serve the ball, and then make sure you have it rattle around the board for a bit, and then make sure you drop it on purpose. Just put up any score that's going to be greater than 0, and then once that is done, you should send that challenge over to the other person, and then your goal is to have them lose this challenge, which is going to count as you winning a challenge. So you should get the challenge over and then send it over their way. What you want to do now is you want to make sure you do another profile swap, but in reverse. So make sure you exit out of the current game on your primary account, and then make sure you switch on over to the other account who's helping out. Then make sure you boot up the game, and then make sure you go over to the Messages tab, and this time you want to make sure you accept that challenge that we just sent. However, this time around, we're going to try to lose it on this side. So make sure you just load it up, and then make sure you hit the back button and then quit out. That will ensure that you put up 0 points, which is going to be less than whatever you put up on the primary count, which is going to give you another challenge done on that other side. Now, you are not going to get the count for the achievement until you load the game up on the other profile. However, before we do that, we're going to save ourselves a little bit of time and then send another challenge while we're on the profile helping out. So make sure you do the same challenge. Again, make sure you set it to duel, and make sure you challenge your primary account again. And this time, you're going to want to make sure you put up 0 points. So do the same thing where you just hit the back button and quit out, and then do another profile swap. And then pretty much you're going to keep this back and forth going until you get to 50. So it's going to be a pretty simple back and forth pattern. Whenever you are on your main account, just make sure that you score. And whenever you are on the account that's helping out, you're going to just want to throw the challenge by hitting back and quitting out. And you're just going to keep sending each other challenges back and forth until you get to 50. Obviously, that's going to mean 25 profile swaps. However, this is going to be the quickest way of getting the achievement. Should take about 2 hours or so to get all 25 cycles in. That being said, this is going to be the quickest way of getting this achievement and without any other help. So make sure you try to stick it out for the long haul. So now that we have the boosting method out of the way, we're going to have one final warning that we have to preface before we finish this. So the big thing with this achievement is you need to make sure that the final challenge is going to be played on your primary account. What this is going to mean is you're going to have to do a challenge that the boosting account sent your way on your main profile and not the other way around. So once you are on your last one, make sure you do not send any more challenges and you only want to make sure you accept challenges. Thankfully, you can track how many challenges you have done by going into the Achievements tab. So once you are at 98% of the Smackdown challenge, you're going to want to not send any more challenges. Make sure you get on over to the account that's helping out and make sure you send the last challenge over. And then once you have it sent, just make sure you head back to the account that's going for the achievement and make sure you accept this last challenge. Again, it's going to be very important that you are on the actual main profile going for the achievement while going for that last challenge. If you do end up getting your 50th challenge done through a challenge that you sent on that profile, you are going to glitch yourself permanently out of the achievement. So I'm going to implore you greatly to heed this warning and make sure that you do keep track of how many challenges that you have done, especially once you are getting close to the end of the 50 required for this achievement. So do make sure you take care and make sure you are keeping track of things in that achievements tab. Make sure you are on the main profile once you are at 98% on the challenge. And then once you are there, just make sure you go over to your messages. Make sure you accept the last challenge. And then once you complete it as you normally would, you should be good for the 50th and final one. And that should get you your achievement. So after all that grinding, there it is. It's going to be for 150 gamer score. And that's all there is to it.